Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Rodney, and I'm back. And I wanted to go ahead and talk about Miss Janet Jackson. All right, so this is going to be a two-part review. I'm going to do parts 1 and 2, and then I haven't watched parts 3 and 4 yet. So I'm going to watch 3 and 4 tonight. If not tonight, then probably tomorrow because there's some other things I need to do. And then it's 2 hours. Okay, let's go ahead and get into it. So let me start off by saying this. I absolutely love Janet Jackson. I remember an old laptop that I had, an HP laptop, and my biological sister can tell you this. The password, and it doesn't matter anymore because the laptop is gone. I don't use this password for anything anymore. But the password to log onto my laptop used to be JJJackson20. Girl. I've never been a Janet Jackson stan, but I've been a fan of hers. Like I think like a lot of people. I didn't really get into Janet Jackson like that until probably the Demita Joe album. I know, girl. I was kind of late to the party. I knew her songs before that, right? But I don't think I really became a fan until Demita Joe, and then that's when I kind of like started to go back and get into like Velvet Rope. I don't know anything about Janet Jackson before Control. Janet Jackson's debut album was Control. The stuff she did before that don't even count in my book. Now let me just say this, okay? I think Janet Jackson deserved better than this documentary. We gonna have honest conversation. I think Janet Jackson is one of the greatest entertainers, period. Okay? I think that this little A&E documentary that they put together, I think that's below Janet Jackson. Sorry. She should have at least been on Amazon Prime, a theater. Girl, Showtime, HBO. The first half of this documentary, I wasn't impressed. It was more so, of course, about her life, the Jackson 5, but I really felt like it could have been 30 minutes. Now, from what I understand and from what I've heard, the second part is, I guess where it's at. But I don't like how this documentary was I almost felt like, okay, girl, y'all talking about some roundaway girl. Girl, this is Janet Jackson. Girl, this is Janet Demita Joe Jackson, girl. Like, y'all gonna throw her on A&E? Girl, where? Lifetime? Didn't they do a repeat on Lifetime? Lifetime? No, baby. No. Girl, she needs to be on Amazon Prime in a theater, probably. I'm sorry, I just didn't like that part. Yeah. Because I just think that Janet Jackson is Janet Jackson. Girl, they should have been having lights, cameras, action. Girl, this is the girl. This is why she was that girl. This is why she's still that girl. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into it. So basically, this is probably going to be short again. The first part of this documentary could have been 30 minutes. That's no tea, no shade to Janet. But some of that stuff, I didn't really care. I didn't care to know. I didn't care to see. If it wasn't about Janet, I really kind of was tuning out, and I had to watch it twice because the second time I had to go back and take notes. All right, so basically they said in 2017, Janet invited a crew to a show of hers, and they end up staying for 5 years. So it started in 2017. She goes home to Gary, Indiana. To basically go to the house that they grew up in. Now, I rewound this part at least 10 times. Did Randy, his name is Randy, right? Did Randy say their home was 670 square feet? Girl, my apartment, this apartment right now, I think is 672. I think. Girl, so when you think about a house that's, and I'm almost like 99.9% sure he said 600, because at first I thought he said 970, and I was like, girl, that's still small. When you have 9 kids, I think they had 9 kids, and then you have two, the mama and the daddy, girl, that's a lot of people. Anyways, I wanted to talk more about Joe in my Hot Topics video. But, I'll say some of it right now. Joe did a great job at recognizing that his kids were those kids. Like, he did a great job. Catherine was the one who kind of noticed it, and then Joe basically took over from there, and, we know the rest is history. I think he did a great job, again, at, seeing what his kids possessed. But Joe did a number on those kids. Did y'all hear in the documentary how Randy referred to their father as your father? When they were sitting down in that living room, him and Janet, he was like, yeah, when your father would go to work. When your father, why are you talking like y'all ain't got the same daddy? Like y'all didn't grow up in the same house together. And this man is probably, 60, 70 years old now? He said, when he came home when your father came home from work, Tito was playing a guitar, and I guess he must have broke a string. And before I guess Joe could, tap that, Catherine told him to stop, right? Just listen. He actually plays better than you. I think that's when the ball kind of got rolling. Catherine, honey, used to make the clothes, right? All the clothes that the girls the clothes that the guys used to wear back in the day, like, that would be considered, that would be considered now, right? Girl, these girls walking around here with bell bottoms, tights, flowers on their clothes, right? So before Tina knows fashion, we used to, back in the day, girl, we used to call Tina knows tacky fashions, girl, tacky Tina. Well, girl, when me and my friends used to hate the clothes that Tina made for Beyonce and them, girl. But before tacky Tina fashions, we had House of Catherine, okay? Catherine looked like she was low-key a beast at the sewing machine, honey. You know how, that's a lot of clothes to make for a girl. That's a lot of clothes to make, girl. I put Joe had biological kids, but he wasn't a father. He was a manager. He was a guardian. But was he really a father? I don't think so, because even when the assistant said, Janet basically never got to know who her father was. We're going to talk more about this in Hot Topics, because I got something for Matthew Knows. I didn't know the Jackson 5 were as big as they were until I saw it in the documentary. Janet landed the role in Good Times. Basically, they had a studio in their home. They ended up moving to Los Angeles, to a predominantly white neighborhood. And of course, they were not welcomed in the neighborhood. Or, girl, of course, the people in the school had a problem too. But Janet was, left a little song that she had created in the studio, and she forgot to erase it. And Joe and one of her brothers found the recording the next day, and that's when Joe was like, okay, girl, we're gonna make you a singer. The first first albums basically kind of just, it was a setup for greatness. That's how we're gonna say that. It was a setup for greatness, okay? Janet, in order to try to have some type of independence, she decided to get married. Girl, isn't that crazy how, like, in order for you to feel the only way you can get some type of independence is to go to this dramatic step of getting married? Girl. She ends up marrying James DeBarge. They started dating when they were 16. I think they got married when they were 18. She says the day they got married, he left her in the hotel room. He said he would be right back. He was gone for 4 hours. Come to find out, James was basically on drugs. She did Fame. She didn't want to do Fame. She did it because her father wanted her to do it. Now, listen, girl, as much as I love me some Janet Jackson, I'm not going to sit here and play this game with Miss Janet. Okay, girl. She didn't say no. And it's not me being messy, okay? It's not me being messy. But she didn't say no to her having a baby. She said basically, I could never keep a child away from James. Like, what kind of person would I be to keep a father away from their child? One thing that drives me insane is this is for anybody. Girl, me, you, your mama, and your cousin too. Celebrity or not, I don't care. It's when, you know, we good for playing games sometimes when we don't want to answer a question. We'll answer a question with a question or go around the question without answering the question, but thinking we answered the question. No, we did not answer the question, but we want to have the people thinking that we answered the question. Janet didn't say yes or no. Girl, I want you to tell, did you get pregnant? Yes or no? Did you get pregnant, Janet Jackson? Circle yes or no. Okay? And if you got pregnant, what did you do after you found out you were pregnant? Did you take a trip to the clinic? Or did you have a baby? That's all I want to know. Did you get pregnant? No? Okay. You never got pregnant. So you couldn't have had no baby. And if you got pregnant, then what happened after you found out you was pregnant? I'm not going to play this game with her. Ooh, Rebe look good, baby. Rebe? I think Rebe is like 70 something. Baby, Rebe looks good. Rebe look like she probably in her late 50s. Baby, Rebe looks good, baby. That's why, like, when I see people that look like Rebe, and they say, like, the life expectancy is 78, it does seem like when people die, like, at 70, it seems young because how good Rebe looks, right? And she looks like she can get around, right? So when I look at it through that lens, it's like 70 is really kind of young to die, right? The Thriller album. Let me just say something. And I know the girls gonna get in the comment section. I'm not gonna compare nobody. But I think that we just need to go ahead and realize that there has only been one Michael Jackson. I don't think there is a person alive or dead who probably had the stardom that Michael Jackson had. Like Michael Jackson was really in a whole like league of his own. As far as like stardom wise. Like he really, really was. I think they said Thriller sold how many albums? 70 million? Anyways, Joe has got to go. That's what Janet was like. If I'm going to do my music, he going to have to go. So Joe left. So she got rid of Joe. I thought it was cute when she saw she ran into a pilot that I guess had flown her about 10 years before that date. And he was like, "You look good. You look real good." I don't know why I thought that was funny. Jessica Davenport, again, that's her first. I don't know if that's still her first assistant to this day. But at least whenever she shot her parts of this documentary, it made it seem as though she was still her assistant. She used to work for Joe. I thought it was cute how, I guess that's how you kind of keep the people who you know around you, right? You should keep the people that you know around you, because Jessica went from being, I think, Joe's assistant to now Janet's Wait, no, I think she went from being Joe's secretary to being Janet's first assistant, right? So she gets together with Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. Girl, I think my first time seeing Jimmy, one of their eyes, one of their faces, my first time seeing them without those glasses on was when they were showing the old footage. Other than that, I don't think I've ever seen Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis face. That mean they could walk by me right now and I would know who they were. Okay? The simple fact that to this day they're still wearing suits and sunglasses, shades, girl, says a lot. Girl, that's really their uniform. I'm not mad at it. I couldn't do it though. So Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, Paula Abdul got on board. She was a choreographer. She's a beast. The Control girl, when they showed the Control video, I was really, really smiling. I was like, Janet was really like doing her own thing. Like she really, really was. Renee comes into the picture. Control was a success. I think they said it sold 6 million albums, I believe. But she was still basically Michael's sister. She really couldn't do an interview without Michael's name being mentioned. This is when I started hollering. So they were in the studio, and Janet was trying to sing some song. Jimmy and Terry, one of them, didn't like how she was singing the song. So they were out there laughing. So Janet stopped and said, "Why are y'all laughing? What's so funny?" Something left. This is the only thing I got from that clip. I know as long as Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis and Janet Jackson have worked together, I know they have cursed each other out. Have been all types of B's, and I'm sure that they've been all types of sorry, slow, stupid mother. Okay, I know they have cursed each other out. Because we was getting into their relationship, working together. Took them like a long. Curse each other out, but they also remind me of the people that will curse each other out. But if somebody else in the room tried to interject, girl, they will tag team them and curse them out. Because you ain't got nothing to do with this. Oh, anyways, girl. Rhythm Nation, they were kind of nervous about Rhythm Nation because, you know, people were not making those type of records back then. One thing I think that is genius is that they made a song that I think some people would have probably tried to make a ballad, and it really was kind of like a dance song, girl. You know. Anyways, Rhythm Nation is that song, girl. All right, so y'all, I'm gonna watch part 2, hopefully tonight, and then I'll be back with part 2. I'm hoping that part 2 is better than part 1. Again, part 1 really could have been 30 minutes if you ask me. I think Janet really deserved better than this little A&E special. Janet Jackson is the Janet Jackson, okay? And don't you ever forget it, baby. Girl, they should have had her on Amazon Prime, HBO, Cinemax, Showtime, the theater, some movie theater, girl. Anyways, I'll talk to y'all girls later. Bye.